right, you are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. I had to make a big decision today. I had to decide whether I leave the gain down on this microphone and take the echo out of the room, but that means it doesn't pick up me laughing at my own jokes, or do I leave the gain up, leave a little bit of echo in the room, and you get to listen to me laugh proudly at something mildly clever I said. So the gain's on full. No, I turned the gain down, so if you hear a little bit of silence, that's just me laughing at my own jokes. I was all primed to get this podcast done early today, get a good night's sleep in, get it all done, dusted, sent out, and then just before I was going to start recording, one of my fucking comedian friends starts messaging, and he'd just taken acid and MDMA, and I got dragged into a fucking almost 2-hour conversation about fucking our souls and the universe and who we are. I'm trying to give him Buddhist guidance on the back of the one book I have that I'm about fucking 20 pages in, and I just had no exit strategies because the fucking questions just kept on coming. And then finally I had to bail. The last question he asked was, so why aren't alligators humans? I'm like, all right, I'm out now. The answer to that question can wait, can't it? Don't get dragged into conversations with people on acid if you're sober. Even if you're not sober, don't get dragged in. So today I started looking into the coronavirus COVID-19 conspiracy theories. And from the years of researching conspiracies that I've had, there's a technique to uncovering the truth. When you're researching conspiracy, you don't want to get the information straight from the source. That's not what you go for. Don't go to websites, don't go to YouTube, don't fucking bother doing any of that. That's not where the real action is. When you're talking conspiracies, you want your information third or fourth hand. That's where you get the juicy stuff. That's when you can start having weird conversations in the sauna with strangers. That's the information that people on the street have. That's what you want to have. And where's the best place to get that information? Facebook comments. That's where it's at. That's where the action's at. You can also use YouTube comments as well. So if you are going to research conspiracy theories through Facebook comments, what you're going to need, and this is going to be your greatest asset as a conspiracy theory researcher, you're going to need a confused, middle-aged white woman. I'll say that again. Get your pen and paper out. A confused, middle-aged, preferably a single mother. That's not essential. That's just refining your search results. But it is essential that she is white. Okay. And the fact that it's a middle-aged, white, female, you're almost guaranteed that she's going to be naturally confused anyway. But the more confused, the better. Because what you need them to be doing is asking questions, probing. You need them posting a lot. You need to track them. You need her to ask questions like, hey guys, does anyone know what 5G is? And then once she's posted something confused, then you just wait. The first couple of comments will be, hey, check out Vodafone. They've got some really good deals on phones at the moment. Then some lame fuckwit will tell a joke. And then probably about 4 or 5 comments in, you'll get 5G. Yeah, if you want to die. And then once he posts that, and it's always going to be a he, once he posts that, it's fucking on. And luckily for me, I have an abundance of confused middle-aged white women on my Facebook for some fucking reason. So I just had to pick. And when you ask the universe, it provides. So my confused middle-aged white lady didn't try and beat around the bush. She just goes, what are these conspiracy theories? Ask and you shall receive, people. And with a question like that, it heats up real quick in the comments. I'll read the first comment. The first comment is, oh my God, Stephen and I are totally into this. I've heard so many. Fascinating. Probably her sister or something. That was a nice one. Then you've got the jokester. The jokester came in with, it's all about reducing the waiting lists for my aged care. You've got the China guy. There's a couple of them. There's always a couple of China. I'm one of them, to be honest with you. China, world domination, they'll bail us all out. Then you've got some guy sharing his conspiracy theory podcast in the comments. And if 2 people start listening to that from this post, that will double his listenership. Then you've got the anti-vaxxer. You need an anti-vaxxer in there. They're some of the best at getting their message out there. And this one's done it craftily as well. She's like, I know an anti-vaxxer who believes any vaccine comes with a microchip. You got to understand, she is the anti-vaxxer. She's just getting her information out there. She knows there's a stigma attached to it, so she's taking the heat off herself. But she still needs to get the information out there. This is the rest of her comment. 5G is a sophistication. I love when they make spelling mistakes. Tracking device and something about Area 21. Her saying Area 21, that's a complete ruse. That's a fucking ruse. She knows what it is. And now the pros are starting to pop their head up. Someone jumps in and he's like, don't you mean Agenda 21? UN plot to poison most of us starting in New Zealand. Some other dude jumps in. He's like, why starting in New Zealand? With 180 drops. Then he jumps in. That's what the anti-180 types claim. 180 is a cover to wipe us all out. And then the UN will take over New Zealand to use it as a base for world domination. And his mate comes back. Whoa. Wild theory. But it would make sense to get rid of Kiwis first. They are probably the most in touch with the land and rivers and self-sustaining farms and community. Not the ones I've seen. The ones I've seen are fucking lined up 50 cars deep at fucking Henderson KFC. With me. I'm in line. I'm number 29. Then a little bit further down, you got the 5G people, you got the bio-warfare people, but they're not the people I'm looking for. I haven't found what I'm looking for yet. Someone's saying about economic collapse. Who cares? No one cares. You got another joke here. A dingo ate my toilet paper. Not funny. And then I scroll right to the very bottom of the comments and I find it. The fucking motherlode. The one that ties everything that's ever happened into everything that's ever happened. It could not have worked out better. And it's the last comment in the thread as well, because no one can comment after this comment. No one wants to, for starters, because you don't want to get dragged into a back and forward with this cunt. But also, there's nothing left to say after this. This is it. This is all you need to know about what's going on in the world at the moment. So buckle in, because you're about to get a fucking education. Okay, so this is how he starts. It was always going to be a he. Of course it's a he. Hold on to your fascinator. That's how he started. You're about to get fucking blown away. It's all just point form, just throwing information at you. Okay. Hold on to your fascinator. Meghan and Harry leave the royal family. Prince Andrew is a convicted pedophile and was close to Jeffrey Epstein. Research Epstein Island if you have a strong stomach. WikiLeaks exposed Clinton and she deletes 340,000 emails. Trump gets elected. Harvey Weinstein, Hollywood's biggest germ, was arrested 3 weeks ago. All of a sudden, he got the virus. He wasn't arrested 3 weeks ago. He got found guilty 3 weeks ago. Prince Charles and now the Queen have the virus, quotation marks. The Queen fled the palace to isolate weeks ago. All your Hollywood favourites have the virus. Adrenochrome is your topic here. Bill Gates is pushing vaccines and he owns 15% of the World Health Organization, which are owned by George Soros and the Rockefellers. Don't know them? Research them. Google is currently uncensored and you can access this information. Whilst you're there, Google adrenochrome and start to follow the trail. An adrenochrome batch was made in Wuhan. How fitting. US deployed 30,000 troops to Europe. Oh yeah, it's for training. Quotation marks. Without masks or hand sanitizer. 600 Mexican drug cartels were arrested. One of the biggest busts by the US. Why didn't we hear about it? 298 Saudi royals, lawyers and judges were arrested for corruption. 3 Chinese, including 1 Harvard professor, were arrested by the US attorney for economic espionage 5 weeks ago. Start playing Superman music in the background now. Today, Trump crashed the Fed bank. They bought all the gold and now holds the keys to creating a gold-backed currency, removing the fiat. There is no Fed banking anymore. The Fed and the Treasury were basically merged, meaning that Trump is now the chairman for global banking system with the people's money. Not the Rothschilds, not the Rockefellers, Soros, Goldman, the list goes on. For this to be possible, the economy must be crashed. All corrupt coin needs to be drained. A 14 to 28 day lockdown is the best way to do this, and even better to distribute the money to people on government grants, payee refunds for business and ATO offsets. Believe what you want, but open your eyes beyond the virus. Some of the world's most powerful CEOs have stood down. Why? This was before the crash, mind you. Multiple arrests have been made for child sex trafficking, human trafficking and sex abuse, but the media is not telling you that. What you are seeing is a war, an invisible war that Trump keeps talking about. It's a war between Trump and his SS against the elites, bankers and mainstream media. Pay attention to the bigger picture. Trump has arrested and caught more pedophile and child trafficking rings in the world, but I bet you didn't know that because the mainstream, and then brackets, George Soros funded media, global elite owned, make out that he's a moron. Trump will go down in history in the coming weeks. There is no need to panic or have fear. This whole thing is working out as it needs to for Trump and his team to remove the corruption and power that has taxed your hard-earned dollar, loaded your loans and credit cards with interest and pulled the wool over your eyes. You're going to see some big names get called out to the point where you won't want to believe it. If you still believe that 9/11, it's always good to finish with a little bit of World Trade Center. If you still believe that 9/11 was a terrorist attack from Osama bin Laden, who trained donkeys to fly Cessnas, which then magically upskilled into Boeings and flew aluminium planes into 580 meters steel reinforced towers that collapsed like a deck of cards, not to mention Tower 7, which was a block away but folded, brackets. Let's not forget the 6 SEALs who took Osama down that were killed in a mysterious chopper crash. RIP, fellas. You're in for a wake-up call. This week, the banks will go bankrupt. They are already on their knees, income tax will go away, and the elites will no longer rule you or the world. And like all great conspiracy theories, it made no fucking sense at all and was completely incoherent. And I tell you what the most fucked up thing about it all is? I believed every fucking word of it. Trump, 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 Trump. Alright, that's it for me tonight. That was a fucking long one. Do all the shit, add me, subscribe, tell your friends about it, and I'll see you the fuck later.